I'm Eric Bowling, and welcome to Money Rocks. As polls close across the Northeast, as they start to close, the course of your financial future could be decided. Even gold hit an all-time high today. We've got you covered from every angle. Joining us on today's all-star panel, on the left, Inside Scoop radio host Mark Levine and Democratic strategist Christopher Hahn. And on the right, Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa. But first, the Delaware primary has garnered Republican attention as Mike Castle is in a closely contested race. His opponent, Christine O'Donnell, isn't just ahead. She's got backing from both the Tea Party and from political heavyweight Sarah Palin.
I'm not convinced that these more conservative candidates are more beatable by Democrats in the general.
Hang in there, Bill. I want to bring the panel in. Levine, I'm going to go to you. Here's the question. You know, you look at this turnout. New York Times telling us the turnout is massive for the Republicans. Are you worried that after a primary, you go to a general election, and all of a sudden the Republicans kind of get behind whoever it is, whether it's a Tea Party candidate or a GOP candidate, a straight Republican candidate? Aren't you worried as a Democrat?
I got to tell you, as a Democrat, I say go Tea Party, go Sarah Palin. I want you to put the craziest, most extreme right-wing candidate out there. I want you to put out Sharon Angle, who's against Social Security. That's right, cut Social Security. Americans love that. I want you to put out there a guy in Kentucky who wants to end civil rights laws. Let's throw out the most extreme people you can, because we Democrats can beat them.
Rand Paul.
Absolutely.
Curtis, but let's take it the other step. Let's say the Republican or the right is united behind whoever wins. That spells trouble for the liberals, doesn't it?
Oh, double trouble. Hey, what happened to all your Obama-nights, right? They're texting, they're tweeting on Twitter, 1 million strong. They are so put off by the president that they've gone back to fornicating, copulating, and drinking beer in their college dorms because they never had the fight to begin with. It was all about Oprah love. This is driven by hate and anger.
Let's look at Delaware. Let's look at Delaware responsibly for a second. The entire Republican organization is doing everything they can to defeat O'Donnell. What are they going to do if O'Donnell wins later on? What are they going to do? Are they going to go
Probably unite behind it.
Politicians always do.
What they're going to do is a blue state's going to remain blue, and they're going to elect a Democrat to the Senate, and they're going to lose a pickup, which is why they're listen.
They have dementia. They forget their hate.
Bill, I sent that to you earlier. That was a question. Do they, in fact, unite behind the Tea Party candidate? And as my liberal left over here points out, they may be a little bit more extreme than the centrist candidates that the GOP is trying to put up.
And then Mitch McConnell said, hell no, I'm like Thor. Boom. Right. No compromise whatsoever.
He was asked by Bob Schieffer 3 times if he was sure what he was saying. So he knew what he was saying on Sunday. The rest of the Republicans ganged up on him and said, we can't moderate, we can't compromise, we can't give the president and the Democrats a win. Not now, please, no, please, no.
I want to be clear what's happening here, because you said Obama tax hikes. Obama and the Democrats support a tax cut on 98% of the American people. The Republicans say, unless you give let's just get it straight.
You're not going to do this. Here's what happens.
Let's just talk about the truth.
If the Bush tax cuts expire under Obama, Mr. Obama
but they're not going to expire
at the helm when the largest tax hike in American history.
All the Republicans have to do is support the vote that will give 98% of Americans full tax cuts for everything they make, and 100% of Americans will get a tax cut on the first
Republicans. Guys, be very clear on that.
Supported by which Republicans? Who are you talking about?
Every single Republican in Congress.
Mitch McConnell
has said.
I'm talking just about every single House Republican coming on saying, no, we need to extend the tax.
Eric, what did they say? What did they say?
By the way, Curtis,
what did they say? They've said if we don't give $100,000 to every millionaire in this country, we are going to raise taxes.
They basically are saying, you know what they're saying? They're saying,
stop. We're not talking million. We're talking mom and pop shop, mid-level size business.
We're not talking
personal
mom and pops don't make $300,000 a year, Curtis.
Come on.
Stop, Curtis. What happens in the middle of a recession if you increase taxes?
Well, obviously, you're going to have less coin to spend, right? That means less retail, less hotel.
You already have 7 yachts. How many more yachts do you need?
All we're saying is let's go back to where we were in the 90s. I don't know about you, Curtis, but things got pretty good in the 90s here in New York City. They got pretty good around the country. The Clinton economy was a robust economy.
Bubble economy, right? All them fraudulent internet companies, and then went poof.
20 million jobs created under the tax structure that we will go back to on January 1st.
Hey, guys, guess who pays the majority of those tax increases? Guess who pays?
The majority of the
millionaires?
tax increases?
No.
No.
I will tell you who's
Obama's
going to
giving
pay.
a tax cut to every American.
Small business is going to
No.
pay the majority.
We have a
of
bill right now. There's a bill that's working its
Absolutely.
97% of small businesses do better under the Obama plan. 97%.
And there's a
Let me
bill.
tell you
There's a
something.
bill going through
This
the Senate
is
right
a
now.
middle class tax hike, not just a tax hike for the rich.
Only the
Small
Republicans
businesses
support a
are gonna
middle-class
bear it.
tax
You know,
hike.
all
Guys,
those
hold
mom and
on,
pop
hold on.
shops are clamoring for the Barack Obama plan. aren't
What
they?
mom and pop shop do you know that has a $300,000 salary?
Eric
They're
Bolling.
pulling up in a limo to the mom and pop shop. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
love you guys, but listen, we have to do this. These guys are really starting to tick me off. They don't stop when they're told to stop. Fear. Fear. There's fear in Americans' hearts right now. Is this not a fear hedge, a hedge against the falling dollar, a hedge against bad things happening in the economy, which, by the way, have been happening under the Obama
I think this
administration?
is going to be an election of fear versus hope. Absolutely. Republicans are using fear and anger, and all the Democrats have is hope and change. And at the end of the day,
Every
election
election since 2002 has been a battle between fear and hope. And you know what? I believe in this country. I am not afraid for the future of this country.
But guys,
the
stay
deficit
on
reduced
topic.
by
Stay
8%
on
in the last fiscal year.
topic.
All right, let's
Listen,
talk about gold.
stop.
Let's talk about gold.
Let's talk about gold,
I would
which
short
is the
gold.
topic of this segment.
I would short gold.
prices are going up. Why, Han?
Listen, investments go up and down all the time.
please,
Gold's a precious metal. People are always going to want it.
Because people fear the economy is going to go down.
Eric.
I think they're wrong. I think the economy is doing better. I think all the economic indicators are better.
Which
the stock
economic
market is
indicators?
better.
There's 14.7 million people out of work, 26.2
Businesses
million people underemployed. Household debt is 122% of household income for the first time ever.
Eric, you know what
$13.4
happened
trillion
to that
in
hope?
debt as a
You know
nation.
what
Go
happened
ahead.
in 2 years of hope? It became rope-a-dope. So even your prime supporters have said, Barack, what happened to the hope? So now all of a sudden you have the fear, fright, hysteria, some hype, and that's why the
Let's talk
gold
about
goes
economic
up.
indicators.
Well, listen,
here.
gold
Let's
is
get some
okay.
economic
Gold's a commodity.
Let's talk economic indicators.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So what do we have? We have businesses have been hiring for the last 8 months after 700,000
Hiring
jobs a month.
who, Mark? Because
hiring
we're at the
private industry.
We're
All the Department of
14.6
Census
million people out of work, and your side promised if you signed stimulus into law, that number wouldn't get above 8%.
They
So what's
overpromised.
working?
They overpromised. In
Eric.
politics, the first rule is underpromise, overdeliver. They overpromised. They were wrong
And
to do that.
underdeliver.
But that said, the economy is starting to recover, and that could be
is.
part of the reason why.
Show me where.
We have
I'll tell you
grown
where.
700,000 new jobs in the private sector this year. Most of the losses are in the public sector. Okay, so government
Completely
is contracting.
wrong.
No, I'm not.
Completely wrong. Here's what it is. I will tell you. Give me a camera. Here we go. 10% since the recession has started. Government employment has gone up 200,000 jobs, up 10%. In the private sector, we've lost 7.8 million jobs. I don't know what you're talking
Not
about.
under Obama.
These are
under Bush. Yes, we have lost.
in the
No,
last
since the recession started.
6
Since the recession
months.
started
In the
under
last
George
6
Bush.
months. Now you just showed a gold chart that showed gold going up in the last 6 months. In the last 6 months.
All right, guys, show that chart again. This is gold going up for the last 3 years.
Sorry, but you see it sharp at the end there.
Look,
in the last 6
gold
months.
goes up in bad
Wait,
times.
let him finish.
In the last 6 months, the economy has added jobs. In the last year, we have reduced the deficit by 8% in this country.
In the last 6 months,
under
the
policies of
economy
the
has
Democratic
not
Congress of
added
Obama.
jobs. You're
Sure has.
absolutely incorrect.
it's
The private
Absolutely
sector has added jobs.
Last question, Mr. Levine. If unemployment went from 9.5% up to 9.6% in the last month, where are things getting better? Homes are foreclosing. Home prices are down. Where's it getting better?
Here's how you know things are getting better. All right, you know, first of all, household debt is down from what it was in the recession.
Household
You know,
debt is
businesses-
up. It's 122%
It's down
of
from
income.
its peak already. You have businesses that are hiring people. You have the Dow.
You know, you
going up
lefties
today.
can spin anything
You know what?
in
I
the
would put my money in
craziest
the market
ways.
because you know
Thank
what?
you
At
very
the
much.
end of the
Don't go
day-
anywhere. We have a lot more coming up.